Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2bus.com, and today I have the full in-depth review of this Motorola Defy Plus. This is a mid-range Android phone, and quite a few of you have asked me to review this unit. And this is the new version of the Defy, and this is known as Defy Plus. And what Defy Plus brings us is a better battery, and it comes with a 1 GHz processor compared to the old Defy that had a 800 MHz processor. And this phone runs on the Android 2.3, that's the gingerbread. And sadly, but Motorola is not going to officially update this model to ICS, so officially it will be stuck to gingerbread. And the great thing about these Motorola Defy phones is that these are tough phones, and these phones are waterproof and dust proof. And according to Motorola, you can immerse this phone in feet of water for about 30 minutes and still the phone will continue to work. And that's why we have rubber padding, and everything is as you see, even for the 3.5mm jack we have a rubber casing, and the housing of the phone is pretty nice and durable. First, let's have a physical overview. The screen size for this phone is 3.7 inches, and it sports a resolution of 480 by 854 pixels. That brings us to an insane PPI of 265. That's why everything on this phone looks very crisp. But this phone is a tad smaller than other phones. I have the original iPhone, that's a 3.5-inch phone, and if we keep the Motorola Defy on it, as you can still see, the iPhone is much larger in the height department, also in the width. So though this phone sports a 3.7-inch screen, it's not that large. And moving on the front we have nothing, but this is the earpiece. We have the ambient light sensor and the proximity sensor. Sadly, we do not have a front facing camera, so video chats is not possible with the phone. And moving towards the bottom, we have these 4 touch type capacitive buttons. I found them to be overly sensitive, and while testing the phone I was accidentally hitting them. It's pretty sensitive, and if you close it you get this nice animation. Moving on the right we have the volume rocker. We do not have a dedicated camera shutter button, and again on the bottom also there is actually nothing. And if you move to this side, we have this door, and we have the micro USB slot over here, which will be used for charging and syncing, etc. And again nothing else. And on the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, and we have the power button over here. I found the power button to be a little bit recessed, so at times it's difficult to press. And on the back, if we notice, let me zoom in, this is an active noise cancellation mic, and that's a good thing because we generally don't find this in mid-range phones. And we have a 5 megapixel camera, and we also have a LED flash. We have the M Motorola logo over here, and we have a door cover over here, and removing the back cover is also very easy. You just slide the door and this reveals the battery. And the battery on this phone is pretty large. It's a 1700 milliampere battery, and thus it gives a decent battery life by Android standards. Here we have the speakerphone grill, and surprisingly the speakerphone output is pretty loud for the phone. I was not expecting it, but it's pretty loud. So that's the physical overview of the phone, and the phone is very nice to hold. It fits firmly in your hand, and no issues with the build quality. The build quality is pretty nice. Moving towards the specs, the phone also has some decent specs. It runs on a 1 GHz processor, and it has 512 MB of RAM, out of which about 200 MB is available after the OS loads. Also, the internal storage on the phone is 2 GB, out of which you get approximately about 1.3 GB of storage for apps, and that's pretty plenty. And we also get a micro SD card with it, so that you can expand the storage. By default, I think so you get a 2 GB micro SD card, but you can put up to 32 GB if you like. So no issues regarding the same. Now coming to the call quality, I found the call quality on this Motorola Defy Plus to be excellent. I would rate the call quality as 10 out of 10. The audio was very clear for me also, or to the other party that I was making calls. No issues regarding the same. We also have LED notification light over here. So if you have a, let's say, a missed call, or let's say you have a new email, this notification light will glow in green color even when the phone is in standby position. So I like that. Also, as I said, the speaker phone quality is pretty nice, and the speaker is pretty loud, so I was able to make decent quality hands-free calls using the speaker phone. I won't say it's really excellent, but it's pretty good. Now let's do some web browsing on this phone, and I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, and also I found the Wi-Fi reception on the phone to be really good. I have no issues with that. It was able to catch the Wi-Fi signal everywhere I tested. And let's first go to tech2buzz.com, and I found the browser to be decently fast on this phone. So this is the Tech2Buzz site. Let's first do the pinch to zoom gesture. Let me just open up one story. And this phone does play flash content, but there is a issue with the same. I'll get to it later on. First, I want to show you the pinch to zoom gesture, and the pinch to zoom gesture is decent enough. It's not silky smooth, I would say, but decent enough. No issues regarding that. So you can do web browsing on the phone without any issues. Also, the text is pretty sharp because of the high PPI on the phone, but there is no text reflow option on this default browser. So if you double tap, it doesn't do text reflow. So that's one con I have. Now coming back to the flash playback, let me just move to this orientation, and I have enabled the click to flash option, and we're going to play one of my own videos, YouTube videos that I have embedded on the phone. And if you notice, the flash playback is really choppy on the phone with the default browser. I was expecting it to be a lot smoother because based on the 1 GHz processor, but I was, to be frank, disappointed, and I tested it with quite a few videos, but the flash playback for the videos embedded on the web page is really choppy. But if you play the same video in the YouTube app, they play fine. So the browser, I would say, is great, but if you are going to watch a lot of flash based videos embedded on web pages, then this phone will not satisfy you. And I'm surprised by this because Motorola was touting on their homepage about the Adobe flash playback on this phone. So I'm a little bit disappointed by that. Let me just go back to the home, and let me go to the all apps, and here let me just invoke the YouTube app, and we're going to play back the same video, and here you'll notice that they play back fine. Let me play back one of my own videos. Let us play back, and I'm going to play it in high quality. And if you notice, the video is now playing back in the high quality by the default YouTube app, but here it plays fine. So if you want to watch a lot of YouTube videos, etc., I would say load them at the YouTube app, not in the web browser. The UI on this phone is Moto Blur, and the UI works fine, not an issue, and we get up to 7 home screens if you like, but you cannot rearrange the same. But I found there is a slight lag when you quickly browse around the phone. Sometimes it's not silky smooth as I had expected. Don't get me wrong, it works fine, it's pretty nice, but there is a slight visible lag. Also, let's get back to the keyboard. This phone supplies us a variety of keyboards. We get the swipe keyboard also, and we also get this regular keyboard, and I found the typing on the keyboard to not be an issue So if you like this vibe, that's already installed. Coming back to the media playback, I have no problems. This phone could play, what do you say, videos up to 720p. But I would say it's not silky smooth. Some of the videos at 720p were showing a little bit of jerkiness, but majority of the videos it could play. So see, as you can see, this is one of the trailers that I'm playing, and there is a slight jerkiness. It's not silky smooth, so it can easily play up to 720p videos. So that's the video playback. I've noticed that when you do video playback, etc., the battery drains quite quickly. Coming to the battery life, this phone comes with 1700 milliampere battery life, and I found the battery life to be above average according to Android standards. And based on normal usage, this battery should last you easily for a full working day. Also, let me just go to the gallery app. We also have this quick office installed, so that's nice. And we also have the mobile hotspot option. Let me go to the gallery and give you a view. Taken some pictures, and we get a nice display like this, 3D display like this for the gallery. And you can easily just click on this, and you can also use the swipe gestures to move around with the pictures. You can use the pinch to zoom gesture, and that works fine. Regarding the gaming performance, I found it to be decent enough. Again, I did not test a lot of apps, lot of gaming apps. I just tested with a few, and they work fine. But I feel if you're going to install very heavy 3D games, then you might face problems, because the graphic processor, I would say, is just average, not spectacular. But for regular games, most of the regular games, I had no issues playing games on this phone. Just let me show you one level. Oh, this is angry. And as because of the high PPI on this phone, this everything looks really sharp. And that's Angry Birds for you. Let me get out of the same. Let us test one more game, and this is Fruit Ninja. And I just want to demonstrate the sensitivity of the screen. The screen is pretty sensitive, and I had no issues regarding touch on this phone. Also, the screen quality, I like the screen quality very much. The color reproduction and the screen was very sharp. So this is Fruit Ninja for you, and as you can see, the phone has no problem playing the game. And now moving towards the camera. The camera on this phone is a 5 megapixel camera, and it has a LED flash, but the video recording on the same is restricted to just 480p. And I have done a detailed video regarding the camera performance, so you can check that link for detailed info regarding the camera performance. The camera does focus, does have autofocus ability, but I found the camera quality to be just average. So what are my conclusions regarding this Defy Plus phone? Another thing that I found with this phone while testing is that during the last 3 days when I was testing this phone, I found that the phone, for no apparent reason, just restarts automatically. This was not happening when I was just using the phone, but strangely, when the phone was just in the standby position like this, it auto restarted. And I've noticed that it happened about 3 times during the last 2 days. So I don't know if there is a specific problem with the unit that I got, but this restart issue is really annoying. Also, I was a little bit disappointed by the Adobe Flash playback with the web browser. It's not smooth, it's very jumpy, and the average camera quality. Apart from that, I like the phone very much. It's a tough phone and a water resistant phone, and it does support a very high resolution screen. Right now, I cannot fully recommend this phone just because of the reboot problem. Please check other forums, etc., to find out if other users are also having this problem, or I just had a bad luck and I got a faulty unit. So that's it for now for this review of Motorola Defy Plus. I hope you found this video helpful. If you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you click on the like button given below. And if you aren't subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button so that you'll be notified about my future videos. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2bus.com, and hopefully I'm going to see you in my next video.